I'm sharing my first impression of the Polene No.7 bag. So if you have watched my earlier first impression video on the No.1 Nano as well as No.9 bag, then you'll know that this is not the first time purchase from Polene. The reason why I decided to continue shopping with Polene is because those two bags that I bought in April this year, they grew on me, and I think that I can see Polene bags as a regular and a long-term feature in my bag collection. So yeah, that's why I continue to shop from Polene. So for this bag, it was purchased on 27 July and I was delivered after 6 days on 2nd August. So today is 8 August, also the first time I have carried this bag out. So yeah, I'm ready to share my first impression. Okay, so for this bag, I purchased it from the US site instead of the Australian site. Previously, I used the Australian site because I wanted to browse plain products in a currency that's closest to the Singapore dollars. But one of the viewers from my earlier video shared that buying it using the US currency is the best, in US dollars, sorry, is the best. So I did it this time and it saved me about 70 Sing dollars. So that's quite a considerable amount of cost savings given that the bag is after factoring the cost of delivery as well as custom tax, right? It's 641 Sing dollars. So thanks to that viewer, I managed to buy these at a better price. Right, so now moving on to the breakdown of the tax. Okay, so on Polene's website, it says that custom tax is about 30% of the listed price of the bag. But based on my two experience purchasing bags and getting them delivered to Singapore, it's actually, I think, safe to say about 10% or less of the listed price of the bag. The reason why it's not 7%, which is the goods and services tax rate in Singapore, is because I think as part of the custom tax, there is also another portion on top of GST, which is the advanced tax. The details of it, I'm not super familiar, but I know that I was charged $57.17 Singapore dollars for this bag. So 20 pertain to advanced tax and the remaining was GST. The exchange rate used by DHL on the bank is different, so that's also something for you to know. Okay, so boring details aside, now I will begin sharing my first impression of this bag. So looking at this bag in video, especially at this angle, it looks pretty big, right? But when I received it and really in person, it is much smaller than I expected. So just to give you a comparison, this is the No.1 Nano bag. So this bag can carry similar number of items as compared to the No.7 bag. And I think it's because it's triangular, so a lot of space at the top is wasted, so to speak. And for the Nano, the depth is consistent, so I can carry, I think, longer items in this bag, but not exactly a lot more. So another basis of comparison is the No.9 bag, which is a lot bigger as compared to the No.7 bag. So that's something that I didn't expect, but that's fine. I think it can still be used as a work bag. So moving on, in terms of how you can carry it, I think with the strap you can carry it as over the shoulder, across your body, and with this you can just hang on your arm. And my first impression of this is that it's really nice when you hang on your arm. It just gives a pretty elegant look. But the thing about this is that after you put in items like umbrella and just other heavier items, it tends to be a bit too heavy to carry this bag exclusively by this handle. In fact, I don't think that your arm can bear the weight, and I don't think the hardware is strong enough for you to carry the full weight of the bag by this small handle over a long term. Yeah, but that's just what I think. Also, this handle is detachable, which I think is good because otherwise, when you carry it on your shoulder or across your body, it will just be in a rather awkward position. So it's nice that this is detachable, especially when you decide that you are not going to use the top handle much. So yep, that's something that I noticed. And for the strap, there are 4 holes. Being 160 cm tall, I am pretty short, right? So I used the first hole, and I carry this over my shoulder. But what I noticed is that the strap will flap out. Yeah, and this is not movable. I've tried a few times, and I'm pretty sure that this cannot be moved downwards. So yeah, I just have to accept that this part of the strap will flap out. So I would rather that it does not do that, but yeah, I think I can accept it even though it does. In terms of the straps, right, I think it's a very obviously thicker than the strap of other bags. Just case in point, the Nano bag as well as the number 9 bag, they're all really thin. So for the broad straps here, I would say that I do appreciate the thickness because I think the weight is pretty evenly distributed on my shoulder when I carry it out today. So that's well designed. But my husband did make a passing remark. He said that he doesn't understand. I think he doesn't appreciate the thick strap, the thickness of the strap. But yeah, that's just one opinion. So now moving on to how we can open this flap, right? I just need to lift this and lift the cover, and I can access the back. So I think this is a really good design because when it is fully closed, it's not easy for others to access the bag. So security wise, no problem. And when I actually want to open the bag, I find that it's pretty easy to open and to close. Yeah, but the same cannot be said for, say, the Nano bag, because while it's easy to open, but when I need to close it, I actually need to make sure both are facing each other before they can close. So this is to me a better design. Okay, so as you can see on the inside, it's sweet. So this has effectively made this bag, which is made of black textured leather, much heavier than the 2 other bags. So this is about 730 grams according to Polene's website. Interestingly, Polene's website didn't state the weight of the number 9 bag when I checked. So yeah, I think it must have felt that this bag is heavier than one may expect for it to include such a detail on the description section of the product. Yeah, so it's definitely heavier than the 2 other bags that I showed just now. And because it's made of suede, it may not be so easy to no, it may not be as easy to maintain as compared to the 2 other bags. So yeah, as you can see, I have my card holders, hand sanitizer, one umbrella, and that's about it. There is this nice detail where you can hang your keys here if you want to, and yeah, a small section here for you to put your cards if you need to. Yeah, and that's about it. I tried, but I couldn't add a small bottle into this bag, yeah, because of the constraint here as mentioned. There is also no back pocket here, which is actually available here on the Nano bag. I think it would be nice to have a back pocket because yeah, I can just easily slip my card or my bag in when I'm or my phone in when I'm out and about, but it's not a deal breaker if it doesn't have a back pocket. Yeah, so that's my first impression. Having said what I said, I think I expect that this bag will be regularly used by me because I think it's really easy to match with my outfits in general, and yeah, I think I really like that the thick strap helps to distribute the weight quite well on my shoulders, so carrying it is a breeze. Yeah, and so far so good. So if you have any questions, you can ask and I will try to answer them, and if you like content like this, you can try to subscribe. Thanks.